Hi all. Right, welcome back. DD at Saipan. This will be part 8. Um, uh, yeah, a few things to talk about first. I think there might be a lot of this, and then let's play through and uh, yeah, but we need to work out what things needing attention, needing worked out, and because I need to play these games properly. Um, Not so easy if the rules aren't clear. So, however. Right, I'll quickly get on with these and then we'll hopefully try and finish off our US action phase for the first turn. Um, quick run through most of the comments I think from Martin. And yeah, he's pointed out a few things to me that some that I didn't know. Now, I'm not saying I've not read through. Well, to be honest, I haven't read completely through the whole rule book. Because you get to a point in the rule book where some of the stuff doesn't matter until a bit later on. But I think there's two or three things that might have caught me out by now. First of all, he talks about, and you know what, Martin? I wish I'd known this when I was hunting for the counters. And I remember this, I think this was the same in Iwo Jima, wasn't it? Anyway, we're talking about the companies must be from the same battalion, as you said, when you're attacking. So there's three companies and the battalion headquarters, all from the same battalion. And I don't know if any of you can notice something in it. And this would have made so much easier for me when setting things up. It would have made it easier because they're all colour coded. These are all blue, like he says, so it's good that they are colour coded. I was like, dope. Anyway, the 1st battalion in each regiment is red, 2nd battalion white, and the 3rd battalion is blue. So there you go. I could have hunted the counters out far easier. Right, I know it now. I remember it from the previous game. I want to say there's no mention of it in the rules at the beginning, but I could possibly be wrong with that one. I could be wrong with that one actually. Target symbol. Glancing, I'm not seeing the reference to the colours, but you kind of feel like that would have been there, wouldn't it? And it might well still be. So I'm not. Hang on, target symbols are coloured. Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's one of the important notes in red on page 6. Important. Target symbols are colour coded by battalion. The 1st battalion in each regiment is red, 2nd battalion white, and 3rd battalion is blue. So it is right there. Okay, that's all my bad. So there you go. So that's that cleared up, and glad it's been brought up. So now that I know. The second thing Martin brought up was his frustration a little with the command rules. Now that's maybe something I need to go over again because I glanced at his comment and was a little unclear. But Joe did kind of say that because in answer to my question regarding battalion HQs, Martin felt that his answer equated to giving everything free actions. I wasn't quite clear about that, and because we talk about battalion HQs, they can stretch out 3 hexes, and I understand what Martin's saying because this scenario, well, not just this scenario, the campaign scenario between game turns 1 and 4, it says everything is in command, which I think Joe's answer then meant that by the way that's written and by Joe's answer meant that everything got a free action. And I don't know if you recall, I'm sure I talked about that way back in my first or second part. That was scratching my head thinking they can't all have free actions, that seems wrong. And then I eventually replied to Martin with the way I thought it was meant that command meant that the units, this is what I boiled it down to, that the units had to be in command before they were eligible for an action, free or spent. That's the way I kind of looked at it. But admittedly, Joe's answer, well, a lot of the answers we're getting, they're a little bit vague. Some of them are to the point, well, most of them are just brief. Some of them do clear things up. Some of them make you wonder, which we'll get to. So I think there's a bit more to look into this command, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of the questions that Martin maybe asked in a more detailed way. One of his questions. Let's say he had 22 or 23 of them initially. I think he's added another 2 or 3. So I don't like go through all of them until we get some answers for them. So what I should do is, if anything crops up on my playthrough, I should check his questions, because it's already happened 2 or 3 times where I've then asked a similar question. Fortunately, I guess Joe might have been freaked out by 22 questions thrown at him, so pretty sure he's answered every one of mine, but they've just been single questions. So I guess if you'd done it that way, Martin, you might have got a better result. But he did say we'd get around to them. That's been, I would say, a week or so now. So yeah, let's hope for the best. Okay, yeah, that was the next one. Right, the next one, I was going to show you the unit on the map that we did expose, but it's got a disrupted marker on it, I think. So I'll just point out these ones here. The next one that it brought, I was scratching my head a little about the fact these had MG. Now, MG's a weapon requirement. If it had been in red down there, it would have been a weapon requirement, and it does just say that these are machine gun units. However, Martin reminded me, if you like, this is pretty sure this is new to the original games. Again, this may well have been in Iwo Jima. It's discussed in Rule 13, and that's I didn't start looking into the rules for the lettered actions because I wanted to get the game started, and they don't kick in until at least game turn 3. I think the machine gun action does kick in on game turn 3, so we all need to be ready for that. But obviously, I was scratching my head about it, and he's just pointed out Japanese units have the MG denotation. Is that right? Is that how you pronounce that? Denotation. So you remember they can cause a machine gun action, and that's what they've got. So if that was sitting in a hex and you had the M action come turn 3, there's a slight difference to how they fire because they're machine gun units. So got that sorted. Right, his next one, I would been as well exposing this because his next one got I'm thinking about this. Is this? Oh no, this isn't the one in the machine gun. Oh, okay, right, that's not. So anyway, he's got these timestamp, and it's when we withdrew the elite Japanese unit that's on top there with the mortar. We withdrew it into here, and then it came on top of this unit, became disrupted, and it got him thinking, and it's a good thought, that if could a Japanese elite detachment withdraw into a position occupied by both US and Japanese units? Now, you would have that situation if you had a US unit that had moved in to carry out DCC. You've got hasty close combat and that's it. Yeah, you've got hasty close combat, which is resolved immediately the unit moves in. But he was talking about, obviously, deliberate close combat is resolved in that hex after all US actions in the phase are completed. So let's just say the situation was, this guy's still up here, right? This unit's disrupted. We carry out before we attack this unit. We carry out a close combat. We move into this hex, but we decide we don't want to close combat hastily right away. We decide we want to leave it till the end of the US action phase, so that we can do some other things first. For whatever reason, it might be more beneficial to us. So it looks like it might not be if he's correct in what he's thinking. But however, this is maybe a question that he's answered come the time. So we move the US unit in there. and then we wait to complete the US action phase before we conduct the deliberate close combat. So then we come and then we make an attack on this unit. It withdraws. Is it then allowed to withdraw into this hex where there's a Japanese unit and a US unit waiting to conduct close combat? And yeah, good question. You could see it. You could see it happening. Maybe not too often, but maybe something. If it was something that could happen, you need to keep your eyes open for, because I don't think we would want that situation, you know. But then, if this guy was unrevealed at the time, you wouldn't know what it was. You wouldn't know if it's going to. But I suppose you need to look at keep your eyes open for between two hexes, and of course these need to be detachments to do that. It was detachments or tank units, isn't it? So anyway, I thought that was a really good question, and maybe we will find an answer to that. Yeah, sorry, I was just give me a sec. Okay, so there's been quite a lot more discussion regarding fractions and how we're breaking them down, and I mean, yeah, I think I commented the last time that all I got from Joe was round up. And my question was regarding the strength. We had 17 against, well, it turns out it would have been 18 because we would have been allowed to count that LVT. Anyway, we were counting it, we were going on the safe side and counting it at 17 to, 17, and we're cutting it in half because we're attacking it in the woods. So that was part of my question. He said round up. So that tells me that 17 cut in half is 9. 8.5 rounded up to 9. But then I went on to say, right, then when you make the attack, we're attacking at 9 to 2, which is a fraction as well. And how do you know? I had a couple of comments about it. Stuart Auld says, I'm guessing there's no rounding up or down with combat factors, so 8.5 to 2, you round the fractions ratio up on the CRT. But then again, he's also got a question here himself, which I didn't feel like I was able to answer. I've got a question. If an LVT is transporting an infantry company, is the infantry company allowed to fire? Technically, they're hiding an LVT. Well, they wouldn't be in an LVTA, sure, because they can't. The LVTs cannot transport. It's only the LVTs. So I could answer that, but so how can they fire? Yeah, I know that they can dismount immediately the unit gets disrupted, but maybe you've got a question there that's valid. You know, if they're on board, the whole LVT thing, I'm not quite sure I understand the sense of it from the landing purposes. The previous games, they were there to land the units. This game, I don't know. Yes, when they get on shore, I can see the benefits of transporting them, moving them quicker. But I can't really answer that for you, whether that's maybe something you maybe need to post on BGG, or if it comes up again with me, I'll maybe pop the question out there too. So, and then Martin had the response on this. I think somebody else said something as well. Yeah, it was Xtov. That's all I can say about that. This was from part 6 as well. Yeah, this is when he complimented on me having my series having the speed of a Scandinavian art house movie. I've no idea what that is, but I'm guessing it's something that goes kind of slow. And I've never denied that my videos are going to be anything but slow. So anyway, he does say he likes the series. So yeah, sorry, there's not much I can do about it. You either persevere with it, put it on double speed when you're watching it, fast forward it at times if it's still something you're interested in. You either do that or, like I say, persevere as it is, or not watch it at all. That's all I can really give you. I mean, I could say things might pick up a little bit, but there you go. I'm almost 15 minutes into this video, and I'm just jacking about things. Things that I want to get clear, things that are important to me, I think important to the game to understand. These aren't simple games. And then the only other video playthrough you've got out there, he does a couple of parts. I'm not saying it's not helpful or anything. There's quite a lot of mistakes that I noticed, and I'm not completely clear on the rules. But also he doesn't show you everything. He shows you the basic and then moves on. Now maybe some people prefer that. Hopefully there's some videos come out like that for you. I don't want to watch that myself. I want to watch everything as it pans out. Obviously, the game needs to interest you as well. If you're not interested in this game, then there's no point going through it all. Even if you've watched some of my previous videos, if you're not interested in this game, then yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll have switched off by now. Anyway, but his comment was, I think this is how you should count. 17 fire points divided by 2 for terrain equals 8.5. No rounding here, he says. Well, I gave the question to Joe and he just said round up. I gave that exact question. They were the numbers I gave him. So he said round up. But anyway, he goes on 8.5 fire power US divided by 2 firepower equals 4.25 divided by 1, and then you rounded up that to the next odds in the table 3 to 1. So he's seen it slightly different, I think, to what Martin has. Now Martin's picked it from the Iwo Jima rules, so now where does he comment? Yeah, here he is, yeah. So his comment in the part is at the 6 minute mark. This must be when I talk about it. Sorry, and when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about part 6. I think I may have made this point in the last video, but I would follow the Iwo Jima way of counting. So he's taking this from Iwo Jima, which kind of makes sense. Most of these things are probably going to stick to the same, even if it's not so clear in the rule book, which is to round up when calculating attack strength and round down when calculating odds. The example they have in Iwo Jima is 13 divided by 2, and it's half because the units are attacking across a bluff hex side, equals 7. So it's rounded up from 6.5, okay? Added to 6, minus 2 for the step was, so there must be a unit that had an 8 strength and now it's 6, gives a total of 13, which is divided by the total strength of the Japanese force. He's got 3 plus 3. So that must be, whether it's depth plus the unit plus depth, so 6. So, which is 6, resulting in a 13 to 6 ratio, which is broken down to 2 to 1. So that's how he says it. That's how it's came for Iwo Jima. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with my thinking that that's how it must be. Unless the designer comes back with a more detailed response on how it works, we'll be going with something along the lines. Right, and then to finish up, I think a couple more comments from Martin at the 20 and a half minute mark. The term AFV is not explained in the book. They probably, until I get my reply up. The term AFV is not explained in the book. They probably thought it was common knowledge. Yeah, I said, okay, thanks. Well, I guessed armoured and vehicle, but the fact that it may be the only clue to the units being armoured strikes me as a mistake to not include it somewhere. As I mean, whether it's again common knowledge that LVTs, LVTAs and tanks are all armoured. If I was to pick, I'm not military knowledge and war, I play these games, so I pick up some stuff, but I'm not really heavily into the, I know what an LVT stands for now, but when I first started playing these games, I wouldn't have had a clue. Anyway, my guess would have been a tank's armoured. An LVTA, which is a landing vehicle tank, I would say that was armoured. But as for an LVT, I would say that wasn't an armoured vehicle. If you were to say to me, what do you, and I'm sure others thought, in fact, I think even Martin doubted the fact that was armoured. I might be wrong with that, maybe I'm calling you out wrong there, Martin. But anyway, the fact that that's the only place that talks about these units being armoured, and it gives it as an abbreviation, AFV, then I think there's something missing there. Anyway, I've carried on. I mean, it wouldn't have taken up much space. Maybe, however, you're supposed to have that common knowledge to play such games, and I'm being funny there. But funny enough, I said I heard the term used on the news today, so maybe it's just me, and I did. That's genuine. I was watching the news, talking about the war in Ukraine, obviously, and armoured fighting vehicle was talked about, and I was like, oh, if you just said AFV there, I would have known what you were talking about. Anyway, right, okay. So, yeah, and then he's oh yeah, I didn't actually look that one up. And yeah, I've replied to him, so that's a bit strange. Maybe I did look up. He said at the 50-minute mark, 2 detachments are treated as one, and he's given me the rules, 6.4. Both are eliminated if you get a Japanese eliminated result. Okay, well, if they're treated as one, that's good, because it does say that one unit is eliminated. But obviously, if they're treated as one unit, 6.3? No, 6.4. Right, let me find the rule first. Indeed, 6.4 is Japanese stacking limits. It's on page 13. Only one Japanese unit and one depth marker may be in a hex. Exceptions in red here. There's 2 exceptions. 1, 2 Japanese detachments, and it links you to the rule that talks about detachments. 2.2.2 may stack in a hex. These units are treated as one unit. So that's really good. That is good for us then. And then the second one is 1 Japanese tank unit may be stacked with 1 other Japanese unit / and or depth marker. Okay, so nice one. Thanks for all your replies, guys. I think that's me up to date. I did just post part 7. So I'd like to see what if anybody talks about anything, because that was me doing my first kind of US actions, and I kind of struggled a bit. I understand I was getting a bit flustered and realising how brutal it looks like not only movement under fire is, but actually trying to even preservation move off the beach. And with the fact that I've actually left this unit here thinking it's safer to leave it there than it is to make the move. And I'm hoping that I've not got something wrong with that, because it seems rather overly brutal, but I know these games are hard. I mean, just because this is a new version of the old 3 games, it's going to be just as tough, I would imagine. Right, let's get on. Right, okay, so let's finish this US action phase. I had the camera paused there, so I've had a little glance at what I might be wanting to do here. I'll try and do a bit more of that. That's one thing I do feel like could be improved, is me pausing when I'm going through some of my thoughts. I didn't really do that with that the first division there. I sort of just pressed play and then looked through what I was going to do, but okay, right, let's move on. I've left this lamp off at this side because it gives a bit of glare, but we're in the daylight hours at the moment, so I'm pretty sure that's clear enough. Okay, so 3 actions to use, and so I was having a look here, and I think these can get a free action. Now remember, yeah, these are 2 units, but one of them's taking the step loss. It's taking the step loss, but it's not disrupted. That must have got hit on landing then, eh? Yeah, because it got hit on and that's a point. Yeah, they weren't disrupted on landing, surely. Yeah, no disruption, just step loss when landing. So that must have been what happened to him. So thinking here is we're going to make a free actions on this stack into here. Pay for an attack into here with a strength of 10. Now these hexes are worried at first they'll look like they're sort of like towns, but both of them, that one's got some roads, and there's just roads in the hex. The only one that does affect is buildings. Black buildings, double Japanese unit strengths. So as far as I'm aware, these do not enhance or take any other strength down. You can see this hex here though. This is black buildings. I mean, that's not a position hex though. All these are. What about that one there? Maybe it's maybe just off camera, is it? No, there's no black buildings in there as well. Maybe some hexes for no, well, not really. No, it looks like this is the only sort of. Just looking about on the map there, that looks like the only area that's got black buildings. However, black buildings double Japanese unit strengths. Canal -1 to AFV strength when attacking into or out of. I'm just looking at a terrain combat effects chart here just in case. Yeah, there is a few. Yeah, rough hexes. Obviously, we've done an attack into wooded. Rough hexes. The Japanese unit strength is increased by 1.5. Hill, they're increased by 2. Mountain, they're increased by 3. And you would add a card for CC. Pillbox, it's times 3 on their defense. Cave, it's times 2. Black buildings, double Japanese unit strength, it says. Canal, -1 to AFV strength when attacking into or out of. And swamp was one that I missed. US units attack strength halved into. These are swamp hexes up here, just at the top of the camera now. So I don't think there's anything beneficial to them or, against us here. So yeah, anyway, back to my thinking. Free action attack there. Pay action attack there. And it looks like I've got a free action. Whether I maybe want to combine these two to attack here or not, I'm not sure yet. Okay, so let's get to this. Right, so this is going to be a good lot of strength. So he gets a -2, so he's 5. And then we've got a full 7, so that's 12. And then 15. Now these are all from the same battalion. So 15. See, it may be that this is overkill, I don't know. What are we going to get into here? 10. I mean, 10 is okay in itself, really. I mean, do I need to take some of that off to attack there? Not really. I mean, if this was woods, maybe, but it's not. So, well, we just go with the whole 15 into there. I could potentially hold something back so that I can move into there, maybe. Attack with just the 10 and hold that guy back, maybe. But I don't know, I mean, my understanding, I know there's some issues still regarding command and free actions maybe, but I'm going to stick with my thinking of it that up until turn 5, battalion HQs are only going to give free actions to the infantry units they're stacked with, and only from the same battalion, but they are allowed to command one other. It's irrelevant up until turn 5. What I mean is, if there was a 2nd battalion of the 23rd Regiment stacked with us, I would be able to include that and give it a free action. That's what I'm saying, if it was stacked with it. And then come game turn 5, it then stretches out to 3 hexes. That's how I'm seeing it, but yeah, there's room for... Yeah, so I think probably keeping them together, because it then means the infantry unit's moving away from its HQ, doesn't it? So, yeah. Okay, right, we'll go in with everything then. Let's do it. So 15 strength. Probably overkill, but you never know. So attacking here, like I say, no benefits. Not doing anything. Don't feel like I'm missing anything. They're all from the same battalion. They were, weren't they? I didn't check the one on the bottom. He's L323 and I323, yeah. Yeah, that's what you're going to have to watch for further down then, Grant. However, I was going to use this stat to attack the R, this stat to attack the R. So, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so 15. Right, get on with it, Grant. Come on. Right, there's an R2. Again, yeah, there's no way of getting around the back of these and cutting off communication. Yeah, I think that's something you're just going to have to accept. So this is an elite unit. Now, it's got flamethrower and Browning. Well, we're going to have that. In fact, the full strength infantry unit by itself has both flamethrower and Browning, I think. Yeah, well, it doesn't list it as Browning, but there is a note to say that machine gun fulfills the same requirement as Browning. I thought that was a strange omission from that first line in the weapons chart, but maybe just me. Okay, so we have the weapons and we are at least 3-1, more than that. So Japanese eliminated. Now, he doesn't have anywhere to withdraw to. There is not a position hex. It's empty within 2, and also one that was that had an R detachment within 2. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it can't move from there to there, because that's. Yeah, I think you're looking up things you don't need to, Grant. Yeah, I'm not sure. Rereading the wording of that. This is page 18, 8.3.2 Japanese withdrawal, right down the bottom on step 2. This is when they can withdraw. If an elite unit can withdraw, follow the below priorities for placing the unit. The first one's talking about unoccupied positions. He doesn't have any options there. Second one, if there are no unoccupied positions within 2 hexes and there is a Japanese occupied position within 2 hexes, which there is, okay, and the withdrawing unit would not be overstacked, 6.4. Move it face down into that position. Well, I'm going to have to assume here that we're not going to do this, and I think it's probably pretty clear, well, common sense, but let me just read on after that. Just looking at 6.4 again. 2 Japanese detachments may stack in a hex. These are treated as one unit. Now, the thing is, we know this is a detachment. We don't know what this is. Okay? Well, my telling there is we can't do it because we don't know what it is. And we would have to reveal it to be able to decide. And there's nothing there that's talking about that. So, but just to finish off that part, it says, if there are any revealed units already present in the hex, the withdrawing unit is moved their face up. Well, surely the unit would have to be revealed. No? It would have to be revealed for us to decide if it was going to be overstacked. So I'm just wondering why it says that. If there are any revealed units already present in the hex, the withdrawing unit is moved their face up. I suppose originally it moves it their face down, but how can that possibly be? Because we need to know what it is. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And we're going to say that none of that can happen. And what is going to happen is that unit is going to be eliminated. However, it is an elite unit. So what is it that happens to that again? Yeah, an elite unit, we're on the same rule here, just back at the first sort of part. An elite unit cannot withdraw if the unit cannot trace a Japanese communication. Well, it can trace Japanese communication, or there are no Japanese positions within 2 hexes, or the unit's current position that are... Oh, sorry. There are no Japanese positions within 2 hexes of the unit's current position that are not controlled by US forces, or the unit could only withdraw in a Japanese occupied position that would create an overstack situation. Well, again, we still don't know what that is, so I've got to assume you can't sort of consider that hex. because if that turns out to be a full unit and we leave it face down, then the hex is overstacked. So yeah, let me know if I'm missing something there. I'm pretty sure we just have to just ignore that. So we carry on. 1. If this is game turns 1 through 4, which is where we're at game turn 1. Yeah, still at game turn 1. If the elite unit is in communication, place a unit in the Japanese reserve units pool. Elite units out of communication, place in Japanese elite units. Eliminate box, well, he's not out of communication. At the end of game turn 4, we randomly select 1/2 round up of the elite units in the pool. Is there a... We're putting them in the Japanese reserve units pool. It's just there's 2 units already in there that weren't deployed. I guess come the time at the end of game turn 4, I'm going to have to look at the units there, pick out half, well, randomly pick out half of the elite ones, and then they'll come back and something like that. And then game turn 5, something else happens. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy, he's eliminated, and I'm going to put him in the Japanese reserve units pool. Well, I've just put him face down because my thinking is that randomly we could maybe one of them could come from there to deploy as a reserve, but I would have kind of thought so. Okay, so yeah, well, that's our first action. That was a free action, always good. So let's just move on and give this stack an action, and we're going to attack the purple position. So when we know that this gets to join along with the infantry company, we know that this can attack as a tank, inverted commas, and obviously he's attacking, right? And we need to give that, and does need to get given an action for that. So we've got 10 strength, got a full set of weapons, and no enhancements in the hex, nothing to worry about, don't think. So let's do it. And this is a 1, it's got the machine gun, and it's got CC, unfortunately. So it is not elite as well. And this was a detachment, so if it had been the other way about, we'd attack that first, that would have stayed there, we'd attack that second, it would have then come and joined that. So there you go. But how to do they things, you don't know what they are, so the order in which to do things like that, it's just a bit random, isn't it? So we've got 10 against 1. So 3-to-1 odds. We do not have the weapon server, so we jump up to 2-to-1 and we get Japanese disrupted. So we are going to have to go in and yeah, that's the wrong counter that. Disrupted for the Japanese we want. Yeah, we're going to have to go in and CC that guy. Right, let's move on. Okay, I thought at first it was going to all work out well and I was going to be fine with the amount of actions, but this, because I thought initially I was just going to attack with this into here, but this is woods. I've got 11 strength. That whole rounding up part, maybe that would be okay. I started thinking I could get this to join in. This is from the 2nd Battalion as well. That would be another 10 strength, 21. You know, the odds would be much better. But hang on, if you've got 11 and this whole rounding up, how was it Martin said it happened in a... I think I'm going to get the Iwo Jima rulebook out and have a look. Okay, so fine stuff. I figured it was better try to search on the computer for it after getting the rulebook, but I've got the rulebook out as well. And yeah, but while searching on the computer, there's quite a lot more rounding up and down. Artillery points in Iwo Jima, they're rounded down now. I done a search. The only thing I found about rounding was the two bits that I highlighted. One on the charts and tables, and one on the, I want to say, what was it regarding? I can't remember the other one anyway, but there was only the two. But within Iwo Jima, there's a bit more rounding, and artillery points were getting rounded down. I didn't study it all, but just glanced when I was searching. However, okay, the example is it's how Martin read it out. There's actually 3 units in the attack here, but it does add up to 13, and then they divide it by 2, and it's half because these units are attacking across a bluff hex site, right? Now, so let's just bring that to this game and talk about if I was to just make this attack here. This is 11. I'm not attacking across a hex side that's causing a problem, but I'm attacking it in the woods, which gives me half. So you can only assume it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing that I asked in my question, and Joe replied rounded up. So this is 11 half to 5.5, which should be rounded up to 6. And in the book here regarding Iwo Jima, it says 13 divided by 2 halved across the bluff hex side equals 7. You round fractions up, and it says it there. And then he adds that to 6 to get a total strength of 13. So something else attacking from another hex, is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've got certain units attacking from one hex, certain units attacking from another hex. So the other unit has got a strength of 6 because it's been hit. It's not attacking across the bluff. So you then add up the rounded up 7 to the 6 to get 13. And then it says, which is divided by the total strength of the Japanese force. They've got a force of 3 plus 3. 3 for the unit, 3 for the depth marker, resulting in a 13-to-6 ratio. So they're just rounding that up to 2-to-1 because 2-6, you can't do any more with that. I think I was talking about like how you needed to round that up to 3-to-1 because it's above 2-to-1. But that's not what happens there, and that is silly. And I think I was talking about that for a while, and that just does not make sense. So, well, there you go. And like I said, I've asked the question already, and Joe has said round it up. So we're going to do it that way. Hope I can remember that. I've got that book handy to look it up again, because it just feels like one of the things that I'm going to get a bit confused about, and wonder where I should be rounding up exactly. And that's why Martin's talked about the actual odds are then rounded down, because 13-to-6 is greater than 2-to-1, just, right? But it is greater than, and so that's where he's saying that just rounds down to 2-to-1, because that cannot round up to 3-to-1. That's just becoming silly. So again, maybe some of these things are left to common sense. I don't know, if it was me trying to, I've not designed a game, I've not written any rule books or whatever, but if it was me, I would be adding these little things in to make it clear. But then again, I've not done it before, so maybe I shouldn't judge there, because I don't really have the whatever. Anyway, so that would make that, what did we say then? So it would be 6 strength rather than the 5. So 6, and if we did hit a 2, it's 3-to-1. With this though, have we not got the full weapons? We do have the full weapons this time. We do have the full weapons. We still don't know what the LVT brings. As soon as we see an AR on one of these chats, we're gonna be over at the computer asking the question, which I maybe should preempt that and just get it asked. Well, to be honest, Martin's already asked it in the follow-up to my question, but okay. I think he's avoiding answering your questions, Martin. I'm not sure why. Maybe just because of the 22 that came at first, he was a bit scared off by it all. Anyway. So will we do this and then save that other action? But I'm not sure if I'm going to use the other action. Okay, let me pause and look at what I was going to do. Yeah, the other action I definitely felt like using was the attack in here. And you might be thinking, well, that's a free action, but yeah, it is. This is from the 2nd Battalion of 25th Regiment. I attack at 10 into there, but that would get half to 5. But I could, at range, use this stack. Now, my understanding there is this unit is from the 2nd Battalion as well, so he can join the attack. His strength would be halved. I would get the benefit of that tank though. Sorry, LVTA, at a range of 2. So that would be 9 strength halved. The tanks get halved as well. I think it's just anything at range gets halved, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe not. It's only talking about infantry at range here. So, and then following up, tank weapons is noted in, well, again, we're still waiting on some answer regarding tank weapons, LVTA weapons, LVT weapons, really. Well, we know what tank weapons are. We're just not sure about the other two. It does just say the important note, like I say, an infantry unit's attack strength is half when attacking at a 2 hex range. It doesn't mention that the tanks lose their strength, get halved. So it's possible that that's not relevant, because that is just talking about infantry range. Yeah, and then it moves on to tank weapons. Yeah, there's no talk about tank at range being, well, the only one that is talked about is if it attacks from 1 hex, if it's adjacent, it also fulfills the flamethrower requirement. And remember, we are officially, this is just talking about tanks, these guys. So we've none of them on the board yet, but we're kind of swaying. I mean, I'd sway towards the LVTA having these weapons, but we need an answer for that. So, yeah, it doesn't seem to reduce the attack strength. I can see. So we'll go with that for now. That's all we can really do. So yeah, so that was, sorry, where was I? So that was a free action into there. So I wanted to pay for an action there to do that. So I definitely want to do that, I think. And then that would, if I did use that, that would be my third action. That would be me finished. Which might be okay, because this is only in cultivated, what is it? Sugarcane or / cultivated terrain. So I don't think there's anything bonus to that. So our yeah, see, our attack into there would be 17 as a free attack. So we don't really, oh no, this was the other one, here, into here, that was it. And again, so we would need to pay for the attack into there. So I feel like that should be an action, and I feel like that is more beneficial being an action, isn't it? So I think we will take the chance with this and just use the 3 stack. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So just to confirm again, so we've got 11. We're attacking into here. So we've got half strength because it's into the woods. So 5.5 to 1 rounds up to 6. We've got 6 strength, and he is. Oh, 2. Yeah, they all seem to be detachments, don't they? An elite detachment. Oh no, he's going to go back, isn't he? He's not going to go to that one. He's going to go to this one, isn't he? Well, there you go. He's going to go on top of that CC again. So I think that's good for us, isn't it? Anyway, we're jumping ahead there. But yeah, we've got the weapons. Yeah, no, that was important because we were only bringing 3 to 1 odds against the 2. So we're at 6 to 2, so it's 3 to 1 odds. He's only requiring a bazooka. We have a full strength unit. Yeah, no step loss. Yeah. So we have a full strength infantry company attacking, which brings the bazooka. Just double checking. Yeah, it brings all the basics. So we have 3 to 1. We have the weapons. He is eliminated. He is going to withdraw though. He's going to withdraw back into that hex then, isn't he? I think that's quite a good result for us though, because he's going to go in there, he's going to be disrupted. We're now going to ignore the CC, and like Martin's pointed out to me, these count as 1 unit. So as long as we can bring enough strength, and the fact we know what the units are, there's nothing that can sneak up on us. We just make sure we've got the strength to eliminate it. Make sure we've got the 3 to 1. 3 to 1 against 3. We'd need to bring 9 strength, but that's fine. And remember, this hex is not. Also, he's moved out of a wooded hex, which was into a clear hex, basically. Yeah, okay, so that worked well. Good. Right, let's move on. Right, so we do have this disrupted, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my attacks first. Well, preservation moves have to come last anyway. I know I made. No, I didn't make a preservation move the other side, did I? I removed the disruption marker, but I knew I was going to do nothing else with that. Don't think it affects the game. It was just to make it easier for me to remember. Maybe I should leave them to the end, though. That's possibly what I might start looking at, but it was just, I was getting a bit flustered up the other side. Things seem to be moving a bit better now. Well, yeah, we're not at an hour yet, so hopefully we might get this turn finished. Yeah, because there's not much more to do after the action. Oh, yeah, we need to land engineers. Right, get on with it, Grant. Okay, so I'm going to do what I said here. This is going to attack as a free action with 10 strength, but it's going to be halved into here. And what I'm going to do is give this an action. Now, these are from the same battalion. Now, that obviously that LVT underneath doesn't have any range, so it can't join. So my thinking there is that's 10. The 7 from the infantry is halved. Now, do I add this before rounding up? No, I don't. Well, I'm not sure here, because in that example he didn't do it, but then that was attacking from 2 different hexes, wasn't it? I get the feeling this is 2 different situations. Or does it matter, Grant? Is 9 halved? 9 halved rounds up to 5, and 7 half rounds up to 4. Oh no, it does matter. Because if I do the rounding before adding the 2 for the tank, I'm going to get 6. If I do it all as 1, I'm going to get 5. Well, I'm not sure there then. Okay, I'm still not 100% sure of that, so maybe somebody might want to chime in with that one. Should I half the infantry company's attack and round it up first before adding it to the tank's full attack, which I understand he does get the full 2, or should I add them both together and then half it? That seems wrong though, because it's no him that's getting half, is it? It would have to be the way I'm saying. So yeah, I think it works that way. So it'd be 7, 3.5 rounded up to 4 plus the 2 is 6. So I'm going to say it's 6. Could maybe be 5, but maybe somebody can just confirm that for me. And then 6 on top of 10 is 16. Yeah, so 16 strength, or maybe it could be 15, but hopefully it doesn't matter. Right, so 16, yeah, attacking into woods. Right, 2 again. Yeah, again, it's a detachment, elite detachment. Oh, it's nowhere to go though, so that's good. Mortar and bazooka, pretty sure they come from. Now remember, these at range will bring less weapons. However, we've got an adjacent full infantry unit, which does supply mortar and bazooka. So we have, well, even if it was 15, we're still getting 3 to 1 odds. Units eliminated. He's nowhere to go this time. So he's going to go to the eliminate Japanese reserve units pool, because he was in communication and he was elite. Okay, right, finishing off with what I think is going to be our last. Oh yeah, this was going to be the action here. So this is the freebie here. Yeah, just think about what you might want to do here first, Grant. I'm not sure it matters. Well, the fact these are turning up as being detachments tells you that they could, If I expose this one first and don't eliminate it, and then we go for that one, then he might come back to there, withdraw into there, or you could have vice versa. I think I would want the withdraw happening that way rather than that way. Basically just because it's just these, whereas there's a lot more infantry units around there. So that means we attack this first, then does it, Grant? Yeah, so that if we expose this, it is supplemental, sorry, not supplemental, it is a detachment and we can't eliminate it. But then that guy's going to withdraw into there if we do eliminate it. I think that's still better for us though. Is it? Yeah, so I wouldn't want it the other way about. I wouldn't want that guy withdrawing down to there. And this guy is disrupted. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but let's just get on with it and we'll go that way. So I'm attacking this time with a full, both from the same battalion, 1st Battalion of the 25th Regiment, and I know that because they're all the same colour. Look, yeah, I knew that. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Martin. 14, 17. So 17 attacking, and then this isn't no issues in that hex. Cultivate sugarcane does not bring any issues with combat effects. Yeah, and that's a free action. So yeah, let's do it. I mean, he is disrupted, but there's not. I think we still take a pop at that guy. I mean, we could potentially have possibly moved. See this guy, he's in a beat. I mean, he's going to be making, he can make a preservation move into there, which he might do actually. Right, let's go for this. What did I say, 17? Well, I'll leave the disrupted marker there because it'll stay disrupted if it hangs around. Right, here we go. That's a 2 again, another elite detachment. We have the weapons, yes. We have greater than 3 to 1. He is going to be eliminated, but he's in communication. He's nowhere to withdraw to. So again, he goes in the reserve units pool. But I can't see a way to really getting around that. I think start of the game, you've got to just accept. Well, you've cleared up the hex. Lets you move a bit. You know, you don't have movement under fire regarding yellow position there, and the same as the other one we took out here in red and the one we took out in blue. Just got to work your way on, haven't you? Right, so final action, and yeah, we're going to do this. And like I say, it could end up this guy withdraws up to here. That could be a bit frustrating then, because he's not going to be disrupted, is he? Then again, I'm sitting in intense blue here. Both these stats are sitting in intense blue, aren't they? Yeah. So if we don't attack him, I mean, I could potentially move units into here right now. I could use the action to move that stack into there, and then it's in steady blue. It's got out of the intense blue. I don't know. Is that a clever idea? It might be, I don't know. But then it's just moving away from this position. Maybe I should be trying to take that out. But if he does jump up there revealed, he's not going to be disrupted. Hang on. Yeah, that seems a bit off, doesn't it? Because if I get the result to eliminate him and he can withdraw somewhere, he withdraws not in a disrupted state. However, the result I probably would prefer would maybe be to disrupt him. Or is it? You know what I'm meaning? It'd be fine if he withdrew to there and became disrupted. But that's not what it says, so. You know what? Let's just give it go for it. Get this attack done. It's coming up for an hour, and we've probably got a bit more to do yet. So that's 10 strength. These can all attack. It's a full weapons from the infantry company, B company of the 1st Battalion of the 25th Regiment of the 4th Marine Division of the US Marine Corps. What about that? Hopefully I've got it right. Right, and there's no issues there. Again, cultivated sugarcane. What did I say? 10. Let's hope he's not elite. That would be good. Oh, he's not. That's good. Yeah, he's out here, isn't he? Browning, Bazooka. We've got 10 against 1. We've got 3-1 odds. He is not an elite unit. So he just dies, doesn't he? He's our first real eliminated unit, I think. I was trying to find a bit in the book where it did tell me that he just did get eliminated, but I just thought Japanese withdrawal talks about when a US attack defeats an elite Japanese unit. I'm sure it tells me somewhere else that a non-elite Japanese unit is just defeated, and my guess is goes into the Japanese elite units. Oh no, that's not. Well, where does it go then? That's elite units eliminated box. Where'd the normal... Back in the box? Right, I might need to find it then, because there's not really a storage area for eliminated units. Maybe it is just back in the box. Ah, right, yeah. I knew it'd be 8.3, resolving an attack on page 18. Talks about the results then. The bullets are: a defeated Japanese unit is removed from play temporarily or permanently. A defeated elite Japanese unit may withdraw under certain conditions. Well, that's not the case. A defeated full strength Japanese tank unit is reduced to 1 step. A defeated 1 step tank unit is permanently removed from play. So reveal the unit, add up the strength. Refer to the attack table. Apply the results to Japanese units. Multi-unit attacks. And then it talks about Japanese withdrawals. So, does it tell you on the chart somewhere? I mean, it just... JIE says 1 Japanese unit defeated. References to 8.3, which is just what I was reading there. My guess is when it says a defeated Japanese unit is removed from play temporarily or permanently, the temporarily part means the elite units that don't have an option to withdraw and they go into the reserve units pool. And the permanent removed from play part must be where we are sitting at now. This is a non-elite unit that we've eliminated. Right, hang on. A defeated Japanese unit is eliminated or withdrawn, 8.3.2. Right, is it in there? I just thought that was talking about the elites, so... I'm pretty sure there must be a clear bit where it says it there, but I can't find it. So I'm going to remove this guy from play permanently and put him somewhere. No, not in there, Grant. What have we got in there? Oh, that's our heroes. Yeah, I'll just put him at the side here just now. Let me know if I've missing a space where I should be putting that guy, or if it is just a case of putting him back in the box, which is what I think. Okay, right, moving on. Right, first of all, I'm thinking just my preservation move options. I was thinking about giving this guy a chance, giving it a wee try, going from brown to brown. He's in a beach. Oh, there was a couple of points I put on my phone, and this was one of them. Well, actually, let's look at, it's this guy here who's disrupted. Let's look at him. My question had been, when I was talking about that up the other side. Now, we'll get the rule up, Grant. Yeah, preservation moves says, a US unit that meets the below requirements may conduct a preservation move as a free action if it meets the following conditions. The unit is in a US landing beach hex, right? Well, this unit is in a landing beach hex. So does that mean it can still conduct a preservation move? I read it as not, because I read it as it being the second of the possible conditions, which is disrupted and adjacent to a Japanese position containing undisrupted Japanese units. So, but maybe I'm picking that up wrong. And I get the feeling I am now, because that is in a landing beach hex, even though it is disrupted. And so it says a disrupted unit making a preservation move must move to a hex that is not in a Japanese field of fire if possible, and never into a hex with an intense Japanese field of fire. And the thing is, a unit that conducts a preservation move may not recover from disruption in that phase. So it does make you wonder if you want to. I mean, wouldn't it be better just undisrupting that, really? I mean, he's sitting in, well, to be honest, he's sitting in a tense green. He could move up to there, though. But that's going to be a movement under fire from green anyway. Nah, I don't. Well, I don't know if the question's worthy they are. Well, it is, if anybody's got an answer to that. Can that move? It's not adjacent to an undisrupted Japanese unit, and it's disrupted. However, it's in a beach landing, what is it? US landing beach hex. So could it still make a free preservation move? There's a question. I kind of think that taking the disruption off it's probably the better of the two. Yeah, well, if it's disrupted, if it moved, it couldn't be disrupted again, that's true. But then it would just end up, yeah, mind you, Grant. Maybe it is worth it. Maybe it is worth it, because we're only getting, we'd have to draw a card for green. And as long as green's not on the card, he moves into there, he's still going to be disrupted, but he's in a much safer hex, steady fire. And if he does get hit, if you do draw green, he stays disrupted, he loses another step. But I'm not sure about if I'm allowed to make the move or not. Yeah. And if we move on to landing, I'm going to be drawing cards to land, so I need to know if I'm going to, if it's allowed to be done or not. Could I pop a question out there, or should I just leave it and undisrupt the guy? And I think I'll maybe do that, but somebody could maybe clarify that one for me. I'm just going to do that. So he's going to have an action just to remove disruption rather than making that preservation move. I'm not 100% sure if I can do it or not. I think I've explained my reasoning. So let me know if I can do it or not. I noticed when watching back the recording, because the hexes are all that way and I'm turning the units, it looks a bit muddled up, doesn't it? Until you look at maybe the big picture and you see the units, until I square things up like that and you see these units have had an activation, they've done something, and this one's not. When you're zoomed in on things, it looks a bit unclear as to where it has been in my other games, and it's just because the hexes go that way. Just have to live with that, I guess. Right, let me know about that one. Might ask the question myself if nobody comes back, but we'll just do it that way. One other thing, just what's on my mind. I noticed my videos, since I started using this other phone, or maybe since I started using the more updated version of, Filmic Pro, which I'm still using kind of grudgingly, because they started charging £2 a week to use it, which is, it's something. After paying for an app that you thought was like a one-off payment, they started doing that. So I've stuck with it now because I'm used to using it. But anyway, however, I noticed that the files looked like they were kind of much bigger than they used to be. Maybe that's not the case, but I just wondered if anybody found any issues with whether you download them or not. That's what I do. I download the files to watch them when I want, but sometimes you're watching them. Just wonder if there was an issue. I could maybe try compressing them a bit better. But anyway, that was that. Right, let's get finished up here. Yeah, I'm just not sure if I should do this one or not. Take the chance with them. I mean, if I'd done it, it means I'm going to have 7 strength. Remember, he's on his own. He can't. Well, yeah. I don't know if they're attached or not. You know, I'd like to think I could say this is transporting and it's doing a preservation move, but I get the feeling that that's not how things work. But I'm not so sure. I don't know if all these things aren't very clear. Anyway, it looks like I would just move him myself into there. But, of course, me creating these videos will let somebody maybe say, well, no, you could take that LVT away, Grant, because you are mounted up on that LVT and that's allowed. But we're talking preservation move here as a free action. It's not an... If it was a paid action, I understand I could take it, but I feel like I can't. So anyway, if I do it, I've got 7 strength. Now, I just checked that hex and there's no issues to attacking into that. It is still cultivated sugarcane terrain, so it would be 7 against whatever we've got there, which isn't too bad. However, this is a hex that's a bit more further inland and might not well be one of these detachments that we've seen, so could be stronger. But if I did make it into that hex, I would only have him by himself to make the attack. Now, if I pulled that all off, then it would probably be really good to be able to take that out. But the likelihood of attacking that with 7, taking it out completely, it's possibly withdraw into there. Although I dare say we can move into there before that happens, maybe. But if I leave him sitting there, he's not really doing... He's going... Yeah, what my point was there, if it'd been something I could attack with at range to join him, one of these other 25 regiment units. Well, sorry, it would have to be from the 2nd Battalion, wouldn't it? And they're 3 X's away rather than 2, so that's not helping either. Right, make up your mind then, Grant. What the heck, we're going to give it a go then. So we're going to make a preservation move. He's in a beats landing box, so he's allowed to do it from there to there. Now he's moving from brown intense to brown intense. He's got to use up all his movement points. We're going to draw a card. It's only brown we're looking at on the card because it's intense. The symbol does not matter. So I'm going to draw a card and hope we don't get brown. Here we go. And we do. Okay, well, we took a chance and yeah, there you go. So this guy is going to be disrupted. You know what, I'm not going to do him with the LVT anyway, so I'll put... no, I can't really do that because that suggests that that's disrupted as well, isn't it? So I'll put that underneath with disruption, and which can't be removed this turn, and put that back on top. Okay, moving on. Oh, yeah, I clearly forgot to give him a step loss as well. Right, so let's do that. So there's his step loss. Bazooka, machine gun, demolitions, that's pretty good. That sounds good. Weapons anyway, but yeah, bit of a bummer that, because you feel like you've just wasted doing something, eh? Well, right, okay. Alright, well, our final option across this side is this unit here, and he's stacked with an LVT and an LVTA, so they would have to stay put. You can see the colours that he's in there. Blue, yellow, green and red. Red's unoccupied, blue's unoccupied, however green and... Oh, yellow's disrupted. Okay, I was thinking about I wasn't going to do this, but now I think I am. Because obviously if I was to move from here, preservation move into here or here, I would have to take a green infiltration fire, and I thought a yellow as well, but I'm forgetting it was disrupted. But initially my thought had been, what about moving into here, because it's just yellow I would have to draw on, because we're going from intense yellow to steady. It does say yeah. A non-tank unit must have spent... Yeah, it just says leaving an intense field of fire. It doesn't say what it's moving into, does it? So the effect is from leaving an intense field of fire from which an undisrupted Japanese position is, there's a field of fire in there. I mean, yeah, it has to be undisrupted, surely. Undisrupted, revealed or unrevealed, doesn't matter, but it's undisrupted. So we could make a straight up move into there, and I think we're going to do that then. So that's going to be a preservation move for that guy into that position, just to secure that position. And it's quite a safe hex. It's only got yellow steady fire in it, and yellow's still disrupted. So yeah, I don't make any checks on that. No, come on, surely not. I'm saying I don't make any checks, but I'm actually leaving green. I'm not moving into green though. Come on, that can't be right. Is it? Hang on. Yeah, it's clearly not right. Good. I guess it's just when you're looking at 7.3.3b and it says leaving an intense field of fire, it really starts off talking about the movement points there. But going back to 7.3.3, movement under fire and infiltration fire, the movement of a US unit or stack from a hex containing a field of fire dot of a Japanese position that is occupied and undisrupted, revealed or unrevealed, to another hex that also contains a field of fire dot from that same position is movement under fire. And then we must undergo infiltration fire, yada yada yada. Yeah, so we can make that move because we are moving out of green. We're moving from a green field of fire. Obviously, if I was to move into one of these two hexes, I would have had to take the check. But green doesn't fire into here. Again, that's one of the ones where I'm not sure why. Well, he's got steady fire only into there, so that does tend to mean he wouldn't stretch into there. Could it be the woods? It might be. Just looking at some of the other dots. No, some of the other ones don't make any more clarity of that, but it might be that he can't fire in there because there's woods there and then there's woods there. Again, though, I've not read anything about us not being able to fire through woods, so that kind of makes that not sound right as well. Right. Preservation move. Good stuff. Into there. No card draw. 3 actions on that side. Done. We've done everything we can on that side. Let's just have a quick glance up the other side. I will pause and not bore you with it until I see if there's something I'm going to do. Yeah, well, the only possible 2... Well, actually, there's 3. This could make a preservation move into... I suppose it could move into here. It could move into here as well, but it's certainly increasing the stacks to over 10 in there. It's 11, I think. Was it greater than 10? Or was it greater than 11? It's greater than 10, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, it's concentrated on 11 or more. I think it's 11 going into there. If he moved into there, it might well be more as well. 4, 6, 7. Yeah, it'd be 11 moving into there as well, but kind of pointless move anyway. So don't even do anything with him. Yeah, I mean, we could move him across, I suppose, but I don't see the point in any of that. I think the only one that we thought about for a while was this guy down here. And I'm going to stick with the thought of not doing that because it just feels suicidal. We've got 3 different colours that could come up out of the 6 that's going to give him a hit and leave him where he is disrupted. So he's better sitting there taking his chance. Yeah, I know all these positions could fire next turn and he might well get hit and disrupted, but it might end up being that something else. Well, for one thing, we might be able to hit this. Although this has got 4 steps, this has got 2, so I think we've got to select that before we select the LVT. But right, okay, I believe that is my action phase complete. So all that we need to do to end the turn, we still need to land these engineer units, I think. Let me just get up to speed on where we are with that then. Okay, well normally we'd also, you do artillery fire at the end of the US action phase as well. I'm guessing that would kick in before this landing, but It doesn't happen until game turns 2. Well, it happens on 2 and 4, and then on every odd game turn after that. So we don't have artillery fire. So yeah, we're gonna land these units now. Okay, so we're gonna draw a card for red 2. We got no drift, which is nice actually. What is it? Purple triangle. Zoom out again. Well, we do have a purple box there. And what do you know? Oh, it's a diamond though. We're getting away with it, aren't we? Purple is firing, certainly. But it's a diamond, so we're all good there. Now, can we land this? Well, no, because they might drift. Okay. What was I doing? I was putting cubes down, wasn't I? I don't think I need to do that. So we've checked red 2. If I get called away, I'll throw something down to remind me. So on to red 3. Now this is a triangle, this one. Let's zoom out a little bit, get the beach in as well. So red 3. We have, what was that? Drift 2 left. Oh, it's a triangle as well. Oh, that's going right across. So, and it's getting hit. Is blue firing though? No, it is not. Don't think it is. Right, well, let's deal with the hit first, Grant. Come on. So blue does fire into here, and it's going to fire at triangles, and what do you know? We've got a triangle. However, I don't think there's any blue. This is the position, we must have took this position out. Well, that was handy, because that would have been the position that's firing into here. I cannot see any other blue, and remember, like Joe's pointed out, and I did read at the beginning of the rule book, it needs to be within 3 of a beach landing box. There's not any blue that's undisrupted that's within that range, so there's no fire into there. However, the unfortunate part is the drift, because that is the 1st Marine Division. It is a triangle, and it's a drift 2 to the left. So 1, 2. So it's now away across there, which I'm not so sure we wanted that. However, probably can land on there hopefully, and be in a safe. Well, apart from blue's probably going to be in range of that. Right. Anyway, moving on. That's that card done. Let's do. So we're going to check green 1. Sorry. Now. So draw a card for that. Keep the symbols there. There we go. What we got? We got a diamond. And we're good there, so no hit again. So that's good. Circle, there's another drift 2 left. However, that would be a triangle this time, so no drift. So nothing doing there. That's good. And then moving on, finally on this side, green 2. We get another drift 2. Wow, we didn't see any in the first landing. What is that? A diamond. Yuck. So we've got a diamond, and we are a diamond. We're not going to drift. So what is it? Brown. It's a brown diamond. Yeah, brown does fire in there. You can see. Do we get lucky again this time? I don't think so, do we? No, we don't. There's the brown there that's firing into here, so he will take a step loss. He doesn't drift though, he's not a triangle, so that is that. Okay, and then, well, I think we can, well, you know what, we'll do the landing for the rest of them. I think we could land them, because I don't think these can drift across, but I don't think they can drift across their sectors. Well, yeah, I'm saying there was no boundary, but I don't think they can. Right, let's go blue 1 on this side then. And draw a landing card for blue 1. Now this is the 4th division this time. So we've got a green diamond. Yuck. So we've got a diamond. We've got green. Is there fire? Maybe not. Where's the green coming from there? You know where it is? It's this one here. 1, 2, 3. That's harsh. Well, it can only be from that one, the green, can't it? There's no any other green up there at all. Blue one we're checking, but this does have a range of 1, 2, 3. So, although there's no fire dot into this box, which it does mean, the annoying part of that is this doesn't even fire into here. Yet, it fires into here. Something seems off there a little bit. There's certainly no other green, so... Okay, but I'm going to have to go by what we've been told, and that is within 3. It's got that extent. What was it, pre-sighting or something like that. Yeah, so, and we had a green diamond, so he does take a hit. No drift, however, though, for fourth division, so... Right, blue 2. Let's see what we get here. No real place to put this. Right, we've got a blue diamond. Blue does fire into there. We're sitting with a triangle. So all good there. And then for 4th division, no drift. So all good there, nothing happening. And yellow 1. We draw for yellow 1. We get a green diamond. Sorry, I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. Also, the green has the little black dot in it, and is it brown has something in it as well? I think it's for colourblind. Pretty sure that's the purpose of it. Just, I think certain colours, they picked out the colours green and brown, I think, are probably the most popular colours to get mixed up colourblind wise, I think. So, green diamond, we're looking at yellow 1. Is it yellow 1? Yeah, we done that one, eh? Yeah, we did. He's a circle, so all good. A triangle with drift, there's no drift anyway, so all good. So one more to go. And it's yellow 2 down here. And we have a blue circle. Blue does fire. We are sitting with a diamond though, and it's a triangle of drift and no drift anyway. So yeah, that all looked like it went pretty well actually. We took 2 hits and we took 1 big drift to the left for that guy way up the top there. Okay, right. I think we're done. That wasn't too bad. I've kept that to an hour and a half. I'm quite surprised I managed to do that because I had another 20 odd minute chat at the beginning with comments and things. I think these chats are going to come along quite often. I won't start adding bits in the header. I know through watching Michael Kostarinas, Greek Michael from Greece, watching his, he's able to put the timestampy bits in his video. I don't know. I think he commented that it wasn't really too complicated to do. It was quite easy, but yeah, it just feels like some added layer that I can't be bothered with. So yeah, more than likely, if you, well, you know what, until you see a counter, you could fast forward until you see a counter moving about, and then it's just me talking about stuff. Yeah, I think it's all quite important and quite relevant to learning the game, which, as we're finding out, isn't as easy as I was hoping. But I don't know, hopefully things started to move there. Felt like the second of that, half of that went a bit smoother, and yeah, we've still got a lot of things we need to find out, but right, so I'll straighten up all the units off camera. I think that's end of turn phase. Move all cards from the card track. We've just got the Japanese fire card here, and to the discard pile. So I've done that, and move the phase marker back to the beginning of the turn sequence, which I will do. And if the discard pile has more cards than the draw deck, it does not. It only has about half. We would shuffle the discards back into the deck, but that's fine. And then move the turn marker on 1. I stretch up there. So we're moving on to the 12 o'clock turn. Now there's a star in that box, and actually that's something I forgot to mention. One of Martin's questions, and I think I know that other playthrough had it marked where they had one, what is it? One airstrike point and one naval point, I think. And I think Martin had asked that question because it mustn't be that clear in the rules, and that makes me feel better because I have not done it, I've not noticed it. So we might find out about that. The wee star in the top corner, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm stretching quite a bit up the top here, but yeah, it was on the 0800 15th of June, turn 1. We've got a square actually, and then a star. And then we've moved into turn 2, which is 12 o'clock, turn 2, and the wee stars there as well. There we go. It's telling you there. So, well, the square is a scenario start, fair enough. So we can start here, you could start here, or you could start here. That's the 3 different starting points. US reinforcement. So that's saying you get reinforcements on turn 1. Could that just be, or does it just mean you stack them up on turn 1? Or is that the engineers maybe? Yeah. I'm not sure why it's got the star in the first box. It's got the star in the second box, so we are going to get US reinforcements. Whether that's units that are about to land, or again at the end of the landing for game turn 3, we're going to have some units stacked up ready to land as well. So not quite sure how that's marked. Yeah, that's what that's for. And then I think this is where you put your airstrike and naval points in here. So we maybe should have one of each here. Yeah, I may need to find out about that soonish. Okay. Right, and I think that's the end. Move the turn chart marker, 1 game turn ahead. At the end of a PM game turn, yeah, well, that's 1 to 4 is all 1 day. So, but at the end of a PM game turn, if a Japanese position that is in communication is empty and a US unit is adjacent, a unit is randomly picked from the Japanese reserve units pool, if one is available, and placed in the position unrevealed. Ooh, right, well, we might need to keep that in mind, Grant. At the end of a PM game turn. Right, that's at the end of game turn 4. No. Hang on. Well, turn 2 is 12 o'clock start. That to me is PM. So, and then turn 3 is 40. Turn 3 is 1600 and turn 4 is 2000. Every one of the turns, 2, 3 and 4, are PM. Well, they're PM to me. I kind of thought it was just once at the end of the day, but that's suggesting that's not the case. Right, I'll keep that one in mind as well. Hopefully. If anybody wants to comment on that. I should really look that up while it's in my head, because I feel like I might forget that PM game turn. Right, okay. That's it. That's the end of turn phase. We're all set up. Okay, all good. I'll clear up the map. We'll get back with turn 2 sometime soon. Hopefully more questions will be answered, and hopefully there's not any major errors there. I dare say there could be some that need to be talked about, but no, I've not finished yet, have I? I haven't landed the engineers. Right, give me a sec. Right, I think I'm gonna just move this guy into here. I'm gonna start putting these down the bottom, I think, and I'm gonna straighten these up now. So I'm gonna land that guy into there. He's stacked for only 8 steps, and there's only 1 company, 2 other units. That's a safer hex because when blue does fire into there, brown's disrupted at the moment. This would be a bit riskier, I think. So makes sense. So we'll land him into that hex. Yeah, just a quick glance there about engineers. They're not going to get free moves on that either, are they? And in fact, can they get preservation moves? I know what run out of time there because I thought I was done. So, will I stack him in that, or I'll just put him in there on his own? That red fires into there. Does red? See, red doesn't fire into there, so it makes a bit more sense. Probably moving that guy into there, doesn't it? It's a safer hex. Although I don't. My belief. He's from A2E. So I don't think he benefits from any freebies. Oh, hang on, no, we're going to get a headquarters in next turn. Ah, yeah. And that should give free moves to the engineers, surely. Okay, right, let's get the other landings done, Grant, and we can sort out the rest of the stuff later. There's nothing landing in this box next turn anyway. What have we got in here? Oh, green fires into there though, Grant. Green's there. Sorry, can't see that. So maybe safer in here. Can we put them in there? Yeah, so I'm going to put this engineer, land this engineer in here. And put these guys back. Let's see, I'm turning them all back that way. That was just to signify they had done something. Right, I'll sort that in a sec. Right, I think the safest place for this guy to go is probably in here. So put him down the bottom. That's the disrupted because it got disrupted in the turn there. Right, and then over the other side, I think I'll put this guy under here. Yeah. And then the next one, it's going to go in beside this one. So I feel like these are not stacked with headquarters, so it's easier if I'm going to give this an action, then I can give the engineer the same action if I choose to. Right, just try to tidy some of them up while I'm going here. This guy, I think it might be best in here. You taking a step loss? No, that works though, isn't it? Just gonna have to next landing though. I maybe should be putting a bit more thought into this because when we land these next stacks, although that's in yellow too as well, so you might get drift though. So I do need to watch these hexes. Well, that one was good. They land in blue 1, and we've got a full hex there, which is good. Anyway, right. So I'm gonna land him in there, right. And then the final one, yeah, we don't really want to be along there if we can help it. This is probably the safer of the bunch of hexes. Now, he's got 2 battalions, sorry, 2 companies. That would give a free action though. This is maybe the better hex, but red's firing into the armor. I think I'm going to go with that one though, because we might be having to land some stuff into here anyway. So we'll go with that. Right, now that's me done. Okay, I will now just go and tidy the rest of that up, and we are done. Okay. It was an hour and 30 minutes, now it's almost an hour and 40 minutes. But and then we've got these units to land next turn. You can see 4 stacks, but they bring our headquarters in, so that should be good. Right, I'll get away from now, guys. Back with what is this? This is turn 8, I think, isn't it? Part 8, sorry. So I'll be back with part 9 at some point. Probably gonna have a wee shot at Red Storm today if I get the next chance I get, if I get another chance. But I might get a bit more of this in this evening. We'll see. Okay, right, I'll be back at some point. Cheers.